Back in the fight with Disney, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District overtook the Reedy Creek Development Act to become the governing body that is over all the land there at Walt Disney World. This was a body that before DeSantis made the changes was able to act unilaterally without consulting anyone, taxing without representation, and without the votes of the tenants of the district. Some 60 or so tenants were unable to have their voices heard in the area until Ron DeSantis came in and said, you know what, we're probably going to update this here so that Disney can't build a nuclear power plant or an airport without talking to anybody. But now, years later, the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District is making a change. They used to say that the Reedy Creek Development District the Reedy Creek Improvement District was not being very transparent with the people of Bay Lake. And now SIFTOD is turning off their live streams so that no one can know what's going on for SIFTOD. It's not quite the headline that we have here, but that seems to be the headline that this site right here, WDWNT, is going for. So SIFTOD, I do believe I was first person on our live streams to start calling it SIFTOD, has decided to end their live streams. Guys, do you know why they've decided to end their live streams? Do you know the stated reason is?
No.
Nobody cares.
Oh, yeah, well.
They had single-digit viewership. Yeah, they had single-digit viewership on these things. And I used to watch them every single time they would air. I forget the name of the guy. Maybe his name was Garcia. The guy who used to run these things was such a boss. And not in a like, I'm gonna kick butt and take names kind of guy. But people would come into these meetings hoping to really show him what's for, and he diplomatically listened to them. People would accuse him of getting rid of something, and he would point out, like, I feel for you. I'm sorry. The thing that you're describing is something that was illegal and was found by the Supreme Court of the state of Florida to be illegal. So we want to make sure that you're not committing a crime by getting this perk, and that the people who give you this perk are not committing a crime by doing it. So this was a fascinating situation here in which Disney was allowed to operate with impunity for 50 or 60 years. Most development districts like this have some kind of sunsetting clause in them to say they'll go away after a certain period of time. Universal Studios has a commercial development agreement with Shingle Creek down there, in which they're going to be developing the land around Epic Universe, and when it's done, they're actually going to hand it back over to the state or the county, well, whatever the local district is there. After it's developed by Universal, they'll hand it over. So it's a public and private partnership. That's the important thing that goes on with these. But with the Reedy Creek, what is it? RCID, Reedy Creek Improvement District. Man, I'm already starting to forget. It's like it didn't matter. This is something that it wasn't going away, and there were people who were retirement age that if they were born at the start of it would have been at retirement age before it was going away. This is something that really couldn't be allowed to last, but now WDWNT here is saying no. Getting rid of the live streams here is a sign that there's some malfeasance going on. We're going to add one person to the panel here who may be able to weigh in. Culture.
Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Central Florida Tourism Oversight District quietly stops updating meeting videos and social media.
Yes, they're ending their live streams because no one was watching them, and they had to pay a person in order to they had an entire person on staff in order to facilitate these. But
maybe this is part of the reason why they want to get rid of the park streamers so badly, is because nobody wants to pay attention to the people they have in house. Xenia Muncha would not be pleased with this.
Oh no, Xenia would not be happy. Is she still working at TikTok? The Central Florida Tourism Oversight District hasn't been updating its social media pages or its YouTube channel. It's been 4 months since the last board meeting live stream. Plus, it hasn't issued a public-facing press release on its website in nearly 2 years. For reference, SIFTOD is the governing body that oversees the land of Walt Disney World Resort. Each month, SIFTOD would live stream its monthly board meetings on YouTube, but that hasn't been the case for most of 2026. Looking for SIFTOD's YouTube channel, the last live stream meeting was on February 27th, 2026. Even beyond the live streams, they haven't uploaded a board meeting video since December of last year. At the time of writing, SIFTOD's website still indicates that the Board of Supervisors meetings are live streams and recorded on YouTube. The site also does not list any upcoming events. So this is basically WDWNT is very upset that this DeSantis appointed board. What's funny is they're appointed by the governor, but then they have to be approved by the state Senate or Congress or whatever in the state of Florida. So it all has to be approved by whoever the governing body is there, the legislature there. Mm-hmm. And those people are then put into this spot where they work with Disney in order to make sure projects are getting permitted properly, and that the proper water, the environmental impact studies are being done. And this is one that apparently WDWNT is worried that I guess DeSantis is going to take over or something if people have to do a Freedom of Information request, or if they have to look up the meeting minutes themselves. Is there culture? You're the person who trusts the government the least out of anyone here on this panel, I'd venture to say. Do you see this as a huge danger for Disney being taken over through a lack of transparency?
Yeah, first of all, everything is made public through public meetings and everything else. This is the most transparent this company's been in a very, well, since they started operating in Florida. So I like the transparency of it all. Maybe some people can throw some roadblock of objections in front of it, saying that the government's too heavily invested. But that would be an argument for the entire state of Florida, which is governed by special districts, including the Villages, which is a retirement community company that just keeps popping those things up places. So if that's the question, my answer is I'm not worried about it. It's more transparent than what existed before.
Yeah. At the time that this happened, there were a lot of people that were acting like DeSantis was going to have a personal seat on the Walt Disney Company board, not directly or in effect at this point. As far as projects being developed to the Disney Company, has there been any stalling in new projects being announced at the Walt Disney World Resort? MJ, Erika, do either of you feel like that there's an end to the number of developments that have happened?
State of Florida is letting Disney just shoot themselves in the foot, from what I can see.
That's actually a really good point. When they talked about the water study that had to be done in order for Tom Sawyer Island and the rivers of America to be approved, everyone was saying, even calling out to Ron DeSantis to say, can you please stop this?
Yeah, I remember that. And
their hands were tied. Essentially, they said, no, you need to do another water study here. And that's about all they said. So we were watching with bated breath. We had Ron checking out some of the sites there and trying.
I had to hide in bathrooms for you guys.
Exactly. I wasn't gonna point out your corner office there.
He pulled an Ron Brockovich.
I don't know what I did in there that the bathrooms currently have to be renovated, but they're closed right now.
What did you do?
What did I do?
I wouldn't have luck for the state of Florida to be like, nope, sorry. To save Disney from themselves.
They are trucking ahead at Walt Disney World with so much construction right now. I have never seen what I would call, from former CM point of view, not just bad show, the worst show.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people may not understand the term bad show. So show was one of the key elements of the Walt Disney Company. The 4 key basics, when they only had 4 keys, was safety, show, efficiency, and courtesy. Not necessarily in that order, but show was like the number 2 thing after safety. and show was very important. Like, so you obviously you had construction walls when something was going on, and they used to have these when they put the construction walls up, they would paint them nice, and then they would put like signs on them, and they would have sayings by Walt Disney. You know, it's fun to do the impossible, that kind of thing. I went by the wall the other day that's in front of Rivers of America, and it literally has the name of the construction company on the sign that where it used to be Walt Disney's name. I was flabbergasted. But behind all of that, it's so bad. I mean, you can see everything that's going on in the former Tom Sawyer's Island, Rivers of America land. They've got, I don't know how many different cranes back there moving earth. It's really funny because in Columbia Harbor House, they have put some, they put some stuff over the windows so you can't completely see out, because those windows you can see right into the area, but they've already been peeled away. So people have sat there and peeled it away so that you can still see into the area, and they just let that happen. It is so yeah, I would say that SIFTOD is probably like Erika said, allowing the company to shoot itself in the foot. It's I don't know, maybe there are enough Disney adults or enough Disney fans or enough, you know, people that will never stop coming no matter what Disney does. I always say that there's definitely Disney fans who truly believe there's so it's almost like a cult like worship of Disney, to where Disney, no matter what they do, can do no wrong, and those fans will continue to come, and they will still they will cheer on. Disney could destroy Walt Disney World and be like, yes, that's exactly what we wanted, because they're that big of fans of Disney, rather than being able to step back and appreciate what Walt gave us and realize that a lot of what Walt gave us is still there. Some of it, unfortunately, is being destroyed. And some of it will never come back, and it's truly sad. But I still have so many friends that you know, work in the parks and are cast members, and it's even for them, they tell me it's not the same as it once was, and it's the whole state of things. Yeah, it's just different.
So Ron, here's the thing that I would point out is if anyone has not seen it, there's an excellent video on the channel Clifflicks, in which Cliff goes through and surveys, for lack of a better way to put it, the last days of Tom Sawyer Island and Rivers of America. So the idea that SIFTOD was going to be the savior of the Disney company as far as turning it politically to the right, or doing something to stop Bob Iger from destroying the parks, that's obviously gone. If you want to see an example of what Walt Disney's Disney World is like, I recommend checking out that video. Erika, MJ, do you have any thoughts here on if there's anything that we need to be looking out for, if journalistically that Park Place needs to be stepping in and attending these SIFTOD meetings so we can find out just what's going on for DeSantis? What are your thoughts on this whole situation with SIFTOD turning off their live streams?
Well, you know, they don't want us to hear what they're talking about. Usually, like, I'm thinking about board of director meetings, because as you guys know, I was an HOA manager for a long time, and those are supposed to be available to the public. I'm not sure how this works in this instance, but something tells me that if there's not a minutes taken for the meeting,
there are. There absolutely are. So there are still minutes taken at the meetings, and they're all still publicly available. The meetings are still open to the public, which they weren't in the past. What's funny is when the meeting minutes happened in the past, when those records were extracted, they would actually say, and this will allow us to function exactly how we were when Disney actually had control of it. And they would say, yes, you have to sign this. It was the people who were working at Reedy Creek Improvement District had @disney.com email addresses in some instances.
I would absolutely put in a request to review the minutes after each meeting has taken place. That's my recommendation.
Yeah, but here's the thing: if nobody's watching this, and there's minutes taken, and there's records of this, it doesn't serve anybody to worry too much about that. This is and look, I mean, Jonas just said this is more transparent than it has ever been. I mean, I don't see an issue. I don't know why that's just me, but maybe not.
At this point, does it even matter? Disney is destroying itself. So what does it matter if Sif Todd is doing anything to help or not help it? It's a disaster.
Just answer me this question, Jonas. Can Sif Todd change Disney's internal culture?
No, absolutely not. Unless that culture is built on fraud and disobeying the law. Which, of course, it's not.
But could Disney be paying off people at Sif Todd to get what they want? And could Sif Todd essentially kind of lie on those minutes? Oh, here's what we discussed. Wink,
well,
wink.
they could, but at the same time, these, I actually really do appreciate the implication, but these meetings are essentially open to the public. Anyone can go to these meetings.
Okay.
The schedule is posted publicly.
Regardless.
So
you would have to put in do you put in a request to attend, or you can just show up?
No, I think you can just show up. So nobody go there and say you're that Park Place, please.
No, it's like a town hall meeting, but I will go back and say this a million times, like we've all said it on the panel. The minute that this company became political, that's when everything went downhill. When they were family entertainment focused and creating the landscape of entertainment and creativity, animation, with the family fundamentals in mind as their key point, that's when they were thriving. But the empire is slowly collapsing. We're already seeing the attendance rise at other theme parks around the world that are not Disney. So it's just a matter of time. They're hanging on to their entitlement, if you will. Yep. And because of that, that's why people will continue to book their vacations, especially families, right, with children. They think this is the destination to take. But I feel maybe in the near future, more and more people are going to be leaning towards other types of vacations around the world, because more and more travel agents are getting educated on how to sell packages to get folks out overseas. And there's a lot to see and do. Our country is gorgeous. There's a lot to do here. But if people really want to explore like the islands or snow in Europe, there's other destinations that people can do for family vacation. And Disney is just holding on by a string, if you ask me.
Well, with that being said, it looks like Ron DeSantis didn't deal the death blow to Disney that was once thought out in the paper.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.